Welcome to the Pages of Possibilities podcast.
It is great to be here.
So today we are dissecting an article that I think addresses a very specific, a very modern kind of anxiety. It's a piece simply titled How to Start a Business Journal, written by Steve. And I'll be honest with you, when I first saw this come across my desk, I rolled my eyes a little bit.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, because journaling, it feels like one of those things that's been co-opted by the wellness industry.
I see that.
It feels like I'm being told to buy some special notebook to manifest my destiny, or treat it like a diary where I just complain about the weather. But as I read through Steve's take, I realized my knee-jerk reaction was just wrong.
How so?
This isn't about feelings. It's about high-performance maintenance.
That is a crucial distinction. We're not talking about a Dear Diary situation here. Not at all.
No.
Steve frames the business journal as a strategic tool. It's less about emotional venting and, way more about cognitive offloading.
Right. He uses this phrase that stuck with me immediately, a page of possibility.
Yeah.
Which sounds poetic, but the application is incredibly practical. The core problem he's solving isn't a lack of emotion, it's a lack of RAM.
Exactly. I mean, think about the average professional today. You have all these open loops constantly running in the background of your mind.
Oh, constantly.
Did I email that client? What was that marketing idea I had in the shower? Is the Q3 report due Tuesday or was it Wednesday?
Right.
Those aren't just thoughts. They are processes just consuming your brain's energy.
It's like having 50 tabs open in a browser. Eventually, the whole machine just slows down. You get that spinning wheel of death.
And that is exactly where the page of possibility comes in. Steve argues that a business journal acts as an external hard drive.
Okay.
When you write something down, you are physically transferring it from your volatile working memory, which is, limited and prone to crashing onto a stable storage medium.
So by writing it down, I'm not just being organized, I'm actually freeing up processing power to do the actual work.
Precisely. You stop paying the holding tax on your ideas.
I love that term, a holding tax. But let's play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
I've bought the fancy notebooks before. I've bought the Moleskines. I write in them for like 3 days and then they end up in a drawer. Why is this so hard to stick to? Is it just discipline, or are we doing it wrong?
I think it's usually because we overcomplicate it. We think we need to write a memoir every single day.
Right.
Steve simplifies this by breaking the practice down into 3 very specific pillars. And if you aren't hitting these 3, you aren't business journaling. You're just writing.
Okay, let's pressure test these pillars. The first one is reflection, asking what happened.
This seems basic, but consider the alternative. Most entrepreneurs and high performers are obsessed with the future.
Guilty.
We are always looking at the next quarter, the next launch, the next fire to put out. We rarely stop to objectively look at what actually happened today.
So we're moving so fast, we don't even know if we're moving in the right direction.
Right. Without reflection, you're just executing. You're not learning. You might be making the same mistake every Tuesday for 3 years, but because you never stopped to look back, you never caught the pattern.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. The second pillar is intention. What's next? This feels like standard to-do list stuff, though, doesn't it?
It overlaps, but intention is different from a task list. A task list is reactive. It's often a list of demands other people have on your time.
Right.
Intention is proactive. It's you deciding, this is the trajectory I want to set for the day. It's about leadership, even if you're just leading yourself.
Got it. So is the difference between answer emails and close a deal with Acme Corps?
Exactly.
Now, the third pillar is the one I'm most skeptical about in a business context, gratitude. What's working?
Ah, yes.
This is where it starts to feel a little fluffy to me. Why does a CEO need to practice gratitude to improve their P&L?
I get the skepticism, I really do. But let's reframe gratitude. In a business context, gratitude is actually data.
Data? How do you mean?
Well, human beings have a negativity bias. We are wired to spot threats and problems. If you run a business, you are a professional problem solver.
Yes.
That means you spend 90% of your day looking at what is broken.
That is painfully accurate.
So if you never stop to acknowledge what is working, you get a skewed data set. You might pivot away from a strategy that is actually generating revenue just because you're bored with it.
Or because you're hyper-focused on the one tiny part that's broken.
Exactly. Recording what's working ensures you don't break the things that are actually driving your success.
Okay, that I buy. It's not just, I'm thankful for the sunshine, it's, I'm thankful that our email campaign had a 20% open rate. It prevents shiny object syndrome.
Precisely. It anchors you in reality, not just in your anxieties.
So we have the philosophy. Reflection, intention, gratitude. But let's talk mechanics. Steve suggests we don't need to spend hours on this. He says, what, 5 to 10 minutes?
Consistency over volume. That is the golden rule here.
But the timing matters, right? He distinguishes between a morning session and an evening session. And they seem to serve totally different functions.
They do. Think of the morning session as the boot-up sequence for your day. This is where you set that intention we talked about. And Steve recommends a specific tactic here that is really effective. The one big thing.
Just one. See, this gives me anxiety. I have 20 big things. If I only pick one, aren't I neglecting the other 19?
This is the paradox of productivity, right? If you have 20 priorities, you have 0 priorities.
Sure.
The one big thing forces you to make a hard decision before the chaos of the day starts. What is the one task that, if I get nothing else done, makes today a win?
It's painful to choose.
It is, but it provides a compass. When you get distracted by a Slack message or an urgent email, you can look in your journal and say, no, that is noise. This is the signal.
Okay, so morning is for focus. What about the evening session?
The evening session is about psychological safety. It's for brain dumping.
Brain dumping sounds messy.
It's supposed to be. This goes back to the Zeigarnik effect, the psychological phenomena where uncompleted tasks take up more mental room than completed ones.
Huh.
If you try to go to sleep with 5 uncompleted tasks swimming in your head, your brain interprets that as a threat. It stays alert.
And that's why I wake up at 3 a.m. remembering I didn't send an invoice.
Exactly. The evening session is you saying to your brain, I have written this down. It is safe. We can pick this up tomorrow. It allows you to close the tabs and actually rest.
So morning is loading the program. Evening is shutting down the system.
That's a great way to put it.
Now, for the people listening who are thinking, I cannot add another daily habit. I barely have time to brush my teeth. Scoot offers a light version.
The weekly review. If you can't do daily, give yourself 20 minutes on a Friday afternoon.
I actually kind of prefer this method. There's something about Friday afternoon where my brain is just fried anyway. I can't do deep work, so I might as well review.
It's the perfect time for it. You assess the damage of the week, see what got done, and most importantly, you plan Monday.
Right.
That way you don't spend Monday morning in a panic trying to figure out what to do. You hit the ground running.
It's a gift to your future self. Okay, let's get into the meat of the journal. We know when to write, but what are we actually putting on the page? Steve lists 5 categories.
Right.
I want to run through these because some of them are obvious, but others are really underutilized. First up, daily wins and challenges. This tracks with that reflection pillar.
And keep it brief. Landed the client, server crashed. You're just building a logbook of your business history.
Second, the idea bank.
Oh, this is critical. How many million-dollar ideas have been lost because someone thought, oh, that's good, I'll remember it, and then walked into a meeting?
I've lost count. For me, it usually happens when I'm driving.
The idea bank is a dedicated section. It's a reservoir. When you're feeling uninspired or you need a new marketing angle, you don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
You go to the bank.
Okay, third, meeting notes. Standard stuff, important. Fourth is where I want to push back a bit, metric tracking.
Right.
Steve suggests manually writing down your numbers. Sales, followers, conversion rates. Why? I have a dash code for that. I can ask Siri. Why write it by hand?
Because it is way too easy to ignore a dashboard. We become blind to digital metrics. They just become pixels on a screen.
Yeah.
When you have to physically write 0 sales or revenue down 10%, you feel it.
It hurts more.
It does. And that pain is useful. It forces you to confront the reality of the business. Conversely, writing down a new record high solidifies that win. It connects you to the result in a visceral way that looking at a spreadsheet just doesn't.
That's a really good point. It removes the abstraction. The last category is mindset work, specifically tackling imposter syndrome.
This is huge for leadership. We all have that voice saying, you don't know what you're doing, they're going to find you out.
The famous fraud police.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Writing down affirmations or, just evidence of your confidence is a way to rewire that neural pathway. It's cognitive behavioral therapy on paper. You're providing hard evidence to your brain that you are, in fact, capable.
So we have the content. Now we have to enter the ring for the heavyweight title fight. Paper versus digital.
The internal debate.
Poison, but I want your take first. I am firmly team digital. I want to be able to command F my life. I want to search meeting with Steve and find the notes from 3 years ago. Paper feels archival. It feels dead.
I understand the efficiency argument. I do. But let me argue for team paper. The goal of the journal is not just storage, it's synthesis.
The synthesis.
There is substantial research showing that the hand-eye coordination required to write by hand engages different parts of the brain than typing.
So I learn better when I scrawl it out.
You encode the information deeper. Plus, there is the distraction factor. If you are journaling on the same device where your emails and Slack notifications, you are constantly fighting for focus. A notebook has 0 notifications. It is a single-task device.
That is true. And Notebook never asks me to update its software right when I'm having a breakthrough.
Exactly. It forces you to slow down. And in a world of speed, slowness is a competitive advantage.
So what's Steve's verdict?
He takes the pragmatic middle ground. The best system is the one you will actually use.
Fair enough.
If friction stops you from writing, go digital. If distraction stops you from thinking, go paper.
I guess I can stick to my apps then as long as I actually use them.
As long as you use them.
Let's move to the part of the article that I found most actionable, the prompts. Because let's be real, staring at a blank page is terrifying.
It is. What do I write?
Steve gives us specific questions to jumpstart the engine.
And these are great because they act as constraints. It's so much harder to write about your day than it is to just answer a specific question.
Let's walk through these with a hypothetical. Let's say I run a boutique coffee roastery.
Okay, I like it.
Prompt number 1, focus. What is the single most important task I need to finish today and why?
So for our coffee roaster, they might be tempted to say, answer emails or clean the shop. But if they really ask this question, the answer might be, call the supplier in Colombia to fix the shipping delay.
And the why part?
Because if the beans don't arrive by Friday, we have no product to sell. The why validates the priority. It proves that this task actually moves the needle.
Okay. Prompt number 2, problem solving. What is a current bottleneck in my business and one small step to fix it?
This one is great for overwhelm. Our roaster might feel like sales are down. That's huge and scary. But the bottleneck might specifically be our website checkout is confusing.
And the one small step.
Email the web developer to change the button color. You don't have to fix the whole company today. You just have to unblock that one little bottleneck.
I like how that shrinks the monster. Prompt number 3 is service. Who is one client or customer I served well this week?
This grounds you. Maybe it's Mrs. Higgins who comes in every Tuesday. Remembering that you made her day reminds you why you're in business in the first place. It connects the grind to the mission.
Prompt number 4 is the fun one, the vision prompt. If I had unlimited resources, what would my business look like in 1 year?
This removes the mental breaks. Usually, we plan based on our bank account. I can't hire a marketing director because I can't afford it. This prompt asks you to suspend that disbelief.
So a roaster might say, I'd have 5 locations and a subscription service nationwide.
Exactly. And once you articulate that, you might realize, wait, I don't need unlimited resources to start a subscription service. I can do that now. It uncovers possibilities that were hidden behind financial fear.
And the final prompt. This is the tough love one. What did I learn from my biggest mistake this month?
This turns failure into tuition.
Ooh, I like that. Failure as tuition.
If you lose a client or roast a bad batch of beans, that costs you money. If you don't learn the lesson from it, you just burn the cash. If you analyze the mistake and change your process, you essentially bought a lesson. The journal helps you keep the receipt.
That is a fantastic way to look at it. So we've been talking about the daily habit, the inputs, but I want to zoom out for the final segment here. What is the long-term payoff? Because writing for 10 minutes a day is an investment. What is the return?
The return is pattern recognition. And this is something you cannot get any other way.
Give me an example.
Let's say you've been journaling for 3 months. You decide to read back through your entries. You might notice that every single time you have a meeting with a specific consultant, your entry for that day is negative, drained, and frustrated.
You wouldn't notice that in the moment because you're just trying to get through the day.
Exactly. But the data shows a clear trend. This person is a drain on your business. Or maybe you notice that on days you start with creative work, your revenue-generating tasks are higher quality. You start to see the matrix of your own performance.
So it takes these subjective feelings, I feel tired, I feel busy, and turns them into objective data points. When I do X, Y happens.
Precisely. It allows you to optimize yourself, like you optimize a marketing funnel. You could identify your peak hours, your energy leaks, your triggers. It is the ultimate tool for self-mastery because it is the only record of how you actually operate, not how you think you operate.
That's the key. We all lie to ourselves about how productive we are. The journal tells the truth.
It does.
So we're not just writing to remember, we're writing to understand.
And to clear the path.
I think that brings us to the big question to leave our listeners with. We started with this idea of the external hard drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the provocative thought I would leave everyone with is this. If you aren't offloading your ideas, if you are trying to hold it all in your head,
Yeah.
are you sabotaging your own focus?
Are you using your brain as a warehouse instead of a factory?
Exactly. Are you so busy holding on to the information that you have no energy left to actually use it?
That is something I'm definitely going to be chewing on. I think I need to go clear some tabs in my brain right now.
Start with 5 minutes.
5 minutes. That's the promise.
Well, this has been a fascinating look into what I thought was a simple topic, but turns out to be pretty deep. Thank you so much for breaking this down.
My pleasure.
And to everyone listening, thank you for diving in with us. If you want to stop sabotaging your own focus and start building your own page of possibility, make sure you subscribe so you're notified when new episodes drop.
You won't want to miss what we have coming up.
For more inspiration and to maybe find that next big idea, visit pagesofpossibilities.com. And of course, if you want to read the source material yourself, the link to Steve's article, How to Start a Business Journal, is in the description below. Check it out. We'll see you in the next deep dive.